Well, actually, I take this opportunity to talk to you about, as a young generation, you talked about, let's mend a new relationship and talk about issues which does matters, the fundamental rights, the contribution of Pakistan for the American involvement in Afghanistan, and secondly, the kind of fundamental rights issue Pakistanis have in America. And being as a Pakistani minority in America, I have wrote a book about that prisoner, which I've been talking about. So I would love to discuss that issue further with you, that in what sense both of these countries can come up with a very better solution to have a mend relationship on that issue. The biggest issue, I being as an attorney who was working on one case in America and in Pakistan, is Dr. Aafia's case.
And in Pakistan?
Well, actually, I take this opportunity to talk to you about, as a young generation, you talked about, let's mend a new relationship and talk about issues which does matters, the fundamental rights, the contribution of Pakistan for the American involvement in Afghanistan, and secondly, the kind of fundamental rights issue Pakistanis have in America. I think that the contribution Pakistan have, because I'm as being an attorney of Pakistan, and I do talk about different issue between US and Pakistan relation in Atlantic Council, Woodrow Wilson Center, and I do contribute my intelligentsia that the relation between the two countries should be seen from the people of Pakistan and to the American administration rather than from government to government. Because we people of Pakistan been suffered a lot from the last 20 years directly from this war on terror. But some way we feel like the voice is not being heard. So I feel this very imperative to talk to you about this issue. And secondly, the most important issue, what after the war on terror has been done, the fallout, everything is now being placed now. The biggest issue, I being as an attorney who was working on one case in America and in Pakistan, is Dr. Aafia's case, who has been incarcerated in Texas, in Fort Worth, Dallas, near Dallas, for 86 years. And we would love to look into this case with you between the US and Pakistan, how to mend relation in that case. Because if you have been through this case, there are huge amount of information which I would love to discuss with the American administration, what can be done to mend the relationship on that issue.
Let me do this as I respond to my good friend. I want to mind my manners in this wonderful audience. So allow me, first of all, please, to acknowledge Chair Khan and Director Khan for this outstanding organization. I think I feel compelled to express my appreciation for the Muslim American Leadership Alliance. And also, I assume I'll have the opportunity of acknowledging the other honorees. But to my good friend, let me just say that you are asking the right question. You're in the right place at the right time. You have a vigorous Pakistani American community here in the United States. I can assure you that their voice is heard. As the chair and founder of the Pakistan Caucus, their voices are heard from the West Coast to the East Coast to North and South. And issues which you have raised, there will be no closed door to have an opportunity to engage. I engage from a perspective of facts. And so we would obviously look forward to the facts, but we'd also we'll be open to, as we go forward in developing the wonderful people to people. But remember, I am in the United States government. I want there to be, whether it is difficult, whether it takes a little longer, I want there to be the positive respect for the United States and for Pakistan for at least how it has engaged. It has not made everyone happy, but it has done some enormous work as relates to the United States. So we still want to have the governmental to governmental respect, and I must continue to work on that. But certainly I believe I've always, when I visited Pakistan, engaged with the people. I'm reminded of the schools that I visited when I went to Pakistan. I'm reminded of the mountains that I went into after the earthquake. And I was with the people. We were giving out sewing machines so that women could start their work again. It was a terrible disaster. And going into Peshawar, the pioneer area, when I went before. So I am always eager to be engaged with the people. And I believe that there's a lot of people-to-people exchange here in the United States with Pakistan, but as well, count me as advocating for the relationships in the United States government and the government of Pakistan.
Yes, I really appreciate what you have been said. But the aspect which I was trying to touch on was one of the human rights issue, which you really deal in America as well. And being as a Pakistani minority in America, I have wrote a book about that prisoner, which I've been talking about. So I would love to discuss that issue further with you, that in what sense both of these countries can come up with a very better solution to have a mend relationship on that issue. Because in Pakistan, there is a situation where they feel that they have been bashed and they have been unfairly treated on that case, because of the repetition we've been through of that accusation, which she has never been suspected. So that's why I felt like, being as a young lawyer, as you are from attorney class as well, that we understand from the facts and the evidence of the case that how we can plead this matter further politically as well.
As a good and strong advocate of human rights, as a member of the United States Congress, a member of the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission, founder and co-chair of the Pakistan Caucus, I'll leave you with this. I will be open to listening, understanding, and encouraging the best way to move forward and the best way to work with the people of Pakistan.
And I give a good best wishes to the people of Pakistan that what I would like to talk with you, we will have a further conversation. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman.
Pointed concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman.